Right, so last little bit now, we're just doing the pipe on the air pipe. Mark, the magical fabricator, my glamorous assistant Mark, he's just making a template now. It's great this. He lives here, so we've got an on-site fabricator on tap. So he's doing the gearbox tunnel now, and then that's it. I can pull the thing out of the way and we can have a tidy up of the workshop and stuff. So we'll get that done, pull it out, and then I'm going to run it around the village a few times. This is the bit I don't like, because you can't take this much stuff to pieces and not expect there to be issues. There's going to be something loose. There's going to be some nuts left on a chassis rail. There's got to be human error in it.
One big issue. That's the owner of the vehicle.
Big issue. Yeah. I'm not buying that off you, Mark.
No, so there's one big issue. The owner of the vehicle.
You're selling big issues?
No. The issue is you, the owner of the vehicle.
He's selling big issues. So if anybody wants to, are they £2 now? £3 now. Is it inflation? Yeah. Is your rent gone up? So what we're doing, you can see this is the standard pipe, but we don't have the piece to go from there to there. So we've got an extender piece that's going to go from there to there, and then from the bottom of it, that'll go up into the snorkel. Eventually, it would be nice to have something a bit more proper. The reason we're still using this one, this is a 300 TDI one, so the parts are going to be common everywhere. You can get the serviceable parts. When you get a service kit, it's just everything's 300 TDI then, so you're not buying some obscure third party whatever one. It just works out easier in the long run, because there's nothing worse than going to the parts shop and saying, I need a V8 one of these, a 300 TDI one of these, a 200 TDI one of these, or an attractor filter. So yeah, we'll move that forward a touch, and then that'll come up into the back, and then whew. So when I did the one for the last one, I failed to do this mock-up with cardboard. I just went straight in and did it with Ali, and cocked it all up, redid the measurements, and then ended up putting a piece of wood over here. So mine was definitely better, because Mark's just used cardboard, which I think is going to get wet and not last very well. I mean, for a fabricator, I thought he'd use a better material personally, but so this is where this is going to sit. It looks like it's a long way forward, but what you're going to bear in mind is there's quite a large cowling that's going to go on here. So once this is on, you can see that's going to sit like that. The reason that can't move, there's no getting around, that can't move. That, if it was put there, as soon as you put it in park, you're racking your knuckles on here, and I'm going to have a CB there. So by putting it over here, some people are going to say, oh, it's too far for you, it'll be a bit... It's an automatic. You put it in dirt and you go. That's it. It's in drive. Plus, that also gives me room. If I want to put the fuse board back there, I can, or I can put cup holders or ram mounts or whatever in that gap right next to where I am. Because when I go places, I put it in drive and I'll sit on the motorway for 3 hours. You're not changing gear. It's only when you're off-road and you get stuck, you're going between drive and reverse. So that's the plan. Is you're now going to make that out of waterproof cardboard, and we'll go from there. So what I'm doing, because this is going to never be able to get in again, that's going to get sealed up, and then on this side here, just putting the 4 holes in. We're going to cut this bit out, put some nice edging on and stuff, and then just put a little floppy panel on, and then I can put my recovery straps, D-links, odds and sods like that you don't use often, but when you need to get to quickly, and they can be just there. Just getting ready for dinner. Damo's not here. Oh, we'll eat your snack, mate. And we also got Chinese today. Got pork balls, rice, sweet and sour sauce, a lot. Spoilt, and Damo's got none. He's at work. So that comes round now. Got the joining piece, which goes round into the back of the airbox there, and then round on this side here, it comes from the bottom there down, and it goes up into here. So yeah, that's that bit done now. So what we're going to do is just waiting for Mark to get back and paint all that black, because that's letting all this down now. And as you've seen, we've made the cardboard template and stuff. He's just gone up to his workshop now, and he's doing that. We'll rivet that panel down, we'll get that one back on, put the new piece on there, then look at bolting all these bits on. So on this side now, just going to tidy this up with a file, just make that proper. We'll get a bit of trim over there, then there'll be a couple of little hinges, piece of checker plate that goes up, make a nice little cubby hole. That's all doing now. Got the in and the out for the positive for the winch. Going to attach them onto there, push that up through the bottom there. We've already drilled all the holes and everything, bolt the thing down, then that's the isolator switch. So when I'm winching, if it did decide to go peak tong, we could just shut it off there, sorted. That's what I'm doing in a minute, just boarding this section off. When the bed's down, the deck completes that, which seals it, because you lose a lot of heat with this glass. There's also condensation, and also as a security thing, I can re-bolt all the doors on the back, and then the cab's just the vulnerable bit then. So it's just a bit more safety and security for everything that's in there. And I've had the thing 6 years, and not once have I ever climbed through anything like that. So here's what Mark's made now. So that goes on there, and there's a little bit of a plate just to go on there when we're finished, and obviously that'll go on there like that, and then we'll get all this riveted down, made proper. Then I'll paint it all black, and then eventually I'm just looking for the rubber material. It's a difficult one. I'm looking at the soundproof, heatproof, fireproof foam stuff, which looks absolutely banging, but it looks a bit soft. Like I could, like if I drop something hard on it or sharp on it, it'd knacker it. So, also looked at the gym mats, things like that. So that's going to be a work in progress. But we'll get this riveted down now, and then that's that bit complete. And then we're going to get the seats all mounted in and everything. And then that's this enough that I can drive home then. Right, pop that onto it. That. Push down on it. Push down on it. Well done. Next one. Do this one here. There you go. Next one. Just push all the way down here. So getting tight now. So point it to the front like that. A little bit more. Yep, perfect. And then pull the gaiter down. So pull the whole thing down. Now the sleeve thing. Push that down. Can you see how it would clip on? Give it a good push in and clip into place. Want me to have a look? Right, let's have a look. Right, so what we're going to have a look at, this is one of them things where if you can fabricate and stuff, it's the easiest thing in the world. People that aren't so hands-on ask this a lot, and I have had quite a few people ask how it's done and just not know. Personally, I think the Mazda RX8 is the best seat for a Land Rover Defender. Reason being, it's got a very, very low from the floor to the actual seat part distance. So when you put it on a seat box, you're not sat with your head up against the ceiling. I've had Recaros, I've been in Subaru seats, I've been in all different kinds of bucket seats, which are okay, but you end up getting, if you're short, awesome. If you're 6'3" like me and a bigger bloke, you're gonna need to pick your seats carefully. These nice big lazy sports seats, so you've not got a big buttress here that you're ragging every time you get in and out as you slide out of it. It's quite wide, so it's not too tight, but it's enough to support you. And like I say, it's very, very low in the seat base. What we're going to have a look at doing today is basically these runners. You have to cut all the tabs off the bottom of these runners, okay? Just purely because they are for the Mazda car. What you're going to retain is these rails, because if someone different gets in, they're going to want to sit down and adjust it to their kind of liking. So all we're doing is we're making some plates that are going to attach to these rails so it fits to a Land Rover. Simple as that. Follow along. Right, so what we're going to do, first of all, if we look down here, where the seat box usually goes, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 fixings. These have got bolts underneath. Sometimes they do snap off, so you may have to bolt from the other side. What we're going to do, because the Mazda seats have got a smaller footprint than this, they come roughly an inch short at the front, an inch short at the rear. So all we're going to do, there's two ways of doing this. You either bolt these rails to your original seats, or you weld the original rails to these brackets. I'm going to do the latter and weld it. People have their own preferences, reasons why, what have you. So what we're going to do, or what you're going to do if you want to do this, by all means, don't copy me if you're not 100% sure. But, you know, this is how I do it, and this is what I'm showing you. So I've cut this bar to 470 mil. Okay, 47 centimeters. That's how long this is. Okay, then what it is so it's 30 mil, 3 centimeters wide, and it's 3 or 4 thick. Okay, so what we'll do, we've done these ones, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to replicate this over there. Okay, it's nice and simple. Cut this down and we're going to get a couple of holes in it. Okay, I'll put this visor on because I know how much you love safety. Okay, let's just round the edges off just purely for aesthetics. And get rid of this. Why are we doing this? Just because you don't want sharp edges. Say you're cleaning your car, something like that, you're wiping around, last thing you want to do is get a burr or sharp piece of metal, something like that, rag your hand over it, slice your hand, okay? It is literally, that is all I'm doing. So as easy as that. So what we've got here now is, this is one of the runners. As you can see, it's got the hole in either end. This is what bolts through onto your seat box. We'll place that down. We're going to offer the seats up where they need to be, weld onto here. Once this is welded on, we'll take the seats out, we can paint this up, let it dry, bolt it back in, jobs are good, and that easy. Okay. So there we go. 4 times, pieces of steel, all cut to size, all drilled, all bolted down. Okay, they don't have to be bolted all the way in. If you're wondering what's happened here, you can access Defender on the box storage and battery from the top. When these seats are bolted in, you don't have that luxury. So all I'm doing here, I'm going to put a little hinge here, little flap. I can put my recovery gear and whatnot in here. A little bit of trim over the top of this, so it's obviously not sharp. That's that side. To the side over there, I've got a lovely little box from X-Vision X in Germany. Marcus, thank you very much. When I went over to see him, he sorted me out. And basically, it does a similar thing to this. It's got the little hatch, but instead of it just being a big open hole into your battery, it's actually a box that you can mount things. So I'll mount an Anderson plug and a couple of little pieces inside there, so I can always jump start from the side of the vehicle without having to unbolt the seats, which has been an issue in previous vehicles. Okay.
This is fucking...
I'll weld it up with the screen, so I'm not blind.
Someone mentioned that on one of the other videos. They were impressed that you didn't even squint when you were welding the engine brackets in.
Look after fucking how many years I've been doing it. Fucking 30 odd fucking 36 years I've been doing it.
36 years and you still don't know how to put a mask on. Right, so this is where results may vary, okay? So I've got a coach-built Land Rover, obviously, so this bit's going to be different depending on your bulkhead, your seating, whatever. I'm 6'3" and 20 stone, so I don't like being jammed up against here, and as well as that, it's an automatic. So what I can do is I've had my seats on this side further in towards the middle, and I've got the Raptor Engineering cubby box. It's a fit right back here to give me the room to sit in here on this one, because the seat base is bigger. As you can see, these runners are twice as wide because this one's got the motors and everything in it. This is a fully electric chair. So what we're doing on this one, what we're doing, Mark,
the
royal we again, is basically these are going to go across and these are going to attach to, these are going to weld to the seat base itself, and then from here they're going to attach to this. This then allows the seat to be further across and further back, just because these are quite thin. What a lot of people do with these is they'll have box section, but on the box section they'll cut on an angle, they'll weld to the top or bolt to the top there, and then they'll bolt down there. I don't want that, just because I'm tall and I don't want my head in the ceiling. Okay, so we've kept it as low profile as possible. So there we go, they're welded in now. As you've seen how we've done it on both of them. What we can do now is we can then take these out, paint all these up so there's no rust, anything like that. But that is now seats bolted in. And like I say, I'm going to cut out this side and put my X-Vision X unit on there. Right, so got it out now, that's great. So issues just down here, I don't know if you can see, just beyond here, so the other side of this, there, that's the issue there. So you see how that caught? On that, just need to pull this pipe down a touch because it's just catching on the throttle, so that's something to address. Brakes need bleeding up a little bit better than what they are now, and I think just a bolt in the inner wing just down there, if you can see that. Need to do that one. And the other thing I've noticed is I'm in low box at the minute, and yeah, so if I want to go to high box I need to pull that lever backwards. Can't pull that backwards because I've got the cubby box there, so that's a bit of an issue, so I need to work that out as well.